What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including whether Kurt Angle will return to wrestling, WWE fans mock WWE's statement on racism, fired WWE stars to Impact Wrestling, more Jaxson Ryker controversy, WWE bringing back a lesbian storyline, more on the WWE Performance Center's stars' week of hell, when fired superstar may have already re-signed, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Now let's hit the intro because it's now time for the news. Our first story looks at whether Kurt Angle is returning to the ring. The Olympic gold medalist recently introduced Matt Riddle on SmackDown via a hype video, leading to the speculation the WWE Hall of Famer might manage Riddle on the Blue brand. However, during a chat with Sports Illustrated's Justin Barrasso, Angle explained, "WWE offered me a job to manage Riddle. Unfortunately, I turned it down. I just have so much going on with my business, physically fit nutrition, and I need to make sure it succeeds before I do anything else." According to Angle, he has a good idea where things would have gone had he managed Riddle. "I imagined WWE was going to go with me managing Riddle, and then eventually, probably a match between the two of us." While Angle said he's nearly 100% certain he's done with in-ring competition, the 51-year-old great knows better than to say never. "Right now I can't. Could my mind be changed? Yes, for two reasons. I'm working on my business, and I've been doing a lot of rehab on my body, trying to get myself back to where I am able to live a healthy lifestyle. I've been so banged up, my neck, my back, and my neck, but I'm making improvements. If I get to the point where I feel I can do it, then I'll probably do it, but right now, I have to focus on my body." Although wrestling's Olympic gold medal grappler was recently released as a producer, it ended up being for the better as Kurt explained his food business has really taken off. Would you guys like to see Kurt Angle wrestle a few more matches if his body is up to it? Would you like to see him go up against Matt Riddle? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, more Jaxson Ryker controversy. Now, current SmackDown performer Jaxson Ryker is coming under fire for some fans for a post he made on Facebook last July. According to a report by Wrestling Inc.'s Mark Middleton, Ryker commented, "Pretty touchy subject, but all this Black Lives Matter garbage baffles me. I challenge anyone of color or race to go watch 12 Years a Slave the movie and realize how good you all actually have it. Learn heritage. Christ, Gandhi, Buddha, they all taught love and caring for others. This is getting out of hand. I pray for this nation daily." Jaxson has already been criticized for posting his support of WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump. The 2019 post was deleted, but reportedly recovered online. Next up, WWE's stance on racism gets mocked by WWE fans. Now, WWE made an official statement on their Twitter page condemning racism and justice for George Floyd. Their statement, "WWE supports an inclusive society and condemns racial injustice. We stand beside our black performers, employees, and fans around the world and encourage everyone to use their voice to speak out against racism. We offer our sincere condolences to the family of George Floyd and the families of countless others who have lost their lives due to senseless violence." Now, that was a very strong and positive message by the WWE, and of course, we at Wrestlelamia wholly support this message. But unfortunately, this statement was mocked by many WWE fans, as many put in the clip of Vince dropping the N-word, and another Twitter user wrote, "Remember when you suspended Titus O'Neil for 90 days simply for touching Vince McMahon and you deemed it unprofessional conduct?" Or what about Kurt Angle when he said, "I'm not a fan of the black people"? Not to mention Booker T should have won the WWE Heavyweight Championship when he faced Triple H at WrestleMania 19. Now, we understand this was all done in character, but some fans weren't having any of WWE's hypocrisy. Next up, a number of fired WWE stars might be appearing at Impact Slammiversary. Now, Impact has announced the date for their next pay-per-view, which is July 18th, and it's their annual Slammiversary pay-per-view. They released a video on Twitter hyping the event. It featured an unidentified person who was wearing a hoodie watching the news report that was created for the video. In it, they mentioned that over 20 plus superstars were released from their contracts amidst the ongoing global pandemic. Past Impact-owned footage of Eric Young, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, Drake Maverick, Kurt Hawkins, Micah Maria Kanellis, and EC3 were all briefly shown, and there was also a Bulgarian flag featured. This could have teased that Rusev has jumped over to Impact. It'll be interesting to see whether this is just mere hype, or that Impact have actually signed these fired WWE superstars. Speaking of a WWE fired superstar, have they signed one back already? Now, even though the WWE released a small army of wrestlers on Black Wednesday, the promotion has opted to use Drake Maverick in the NXT Interim Cruiserweight Championship tournament since he is still under contract until 15th July. With Maverick in the tournament finals, the Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer thinks that the WWE will keep Maverick around. I can't imagine Drake Maverick not being kept. It would be completely insane to cut him now. For him, either he was going to lose and not go to the finals. Even if he loses, they can't put Phantasma over. But in the end, they have to keep him. I don't know. If he's really leaving, he shouldn't beat anyone on the way out. That doesn't even make sense. I can't imagine them not keeping him. It just doesn't make sense at all. Perhaps, do you think Meltzer doesn't think it makes sense? Not sure if we got that from his statement. But anyway, Drake Maverick is a talented performer with an amusing act and good in-ring skills. Maverick showed how entertaining it can be during his feud with R-Truth over the 24/7 championship. He would be an asset in any promotion, but he may be better leaving the WWE unless they make him a strong supporting player on NXT and or 205 Live. Next up, Sonya Deville talks lesbian storyline in WWE. Sonya Deville's feud with former tag partner Mandy Rose and her blossoming program with Lacey Evans have given Deville a chance to showcase her singles talent. During an interview with the New York Post, Deville was asked if she thinks the WWE will ever air a lesbian storyline. I think anything's possible, especially this year. I don't rule it out at all. Inclusion is important in every aspect of life, including sports entertainment, and I think that the company would agree on that. I think it's definitely a possibility this year. Deville's comments are vague enough, especially in the light of how WWE was rumored to have considered a lesbian storyline last year between Rose and Deville. After the short-lived Lana-Liv Morgan romance, it's uncertain whether the WWE is willing to go ahead with such a storyline. Sonya also talked about how she expressed her interest in playing Batwoman in the CW show, now that the lead Ruby Rose has opted out after season 1. It's like a dream role. First of all, it's so cool what CW did in having Ruby Rose as Batman, being an LGBTQ member obviously. I think it's so cool that they wanted to keep the role in that family. It's revolutionary in its own way, and I think it's so awesome, and I'd love to continue that strong and inspiring message. There hasn't been any word on whether producers have seriously considered Deville, but according to a review at the Internet Movie Database, Deville has a small number of acting roles, including the film The Honor. Next up, WWE Performance Center Stalker does it again. Armando Alejandro Montalvo, aka the Performance Center Stalker, is at it again, not only appearing in court, but returning to the scene of the alleged crime. Ringside News' Felix Upton provided the details on the story that sounds more like a legal sitcom than an actual case. When his hearing came, Montalvo arrived at the courthouse in a red clown nose and full suit despite being told he didn't need to show up. His court hearing was via teleconference. He then annoyed the judge by calling her baby girl. WWE tried to extend the order to prohibit Montalvo from being 1,000 feet away from where they are trying to conduct business. This didn't fly for him and no new court date was set. The order of protection still applies, but Armando Alejandro Montalvo decided to forget about all it later that night. Montalvo went back to the WWE property at 3 AM on the same night of his court date. He also streamed the entire event on Facebook Live. While he may seem like nothing more than annoyance, should the court let him disregard its order? Do you think he poses a threat to anyone? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, more on the WWE Performance Center's Stars Week of Hell. It appears that the aspiring wrestlers from the Performance Center and NXT who served as the audience for WWE television had an even worse time than first reported. According to Wrestling Inc.'s Raj Giri, as Wrestlelamia mentioned in an earlier news video, these wrestlers were on their feet for 10 hours for each taping and things only got worse. In an exclusive report, Giri revealed, 205 Live and main event were taped first last Tuesday. The crowd was apparently somewhat sluggish before the Raw taping that started at 2 PM. Someone backstage got on the house PA system and instructed the crowd to be more enthusiastic. One source described it as a parent talking down to a child. It's not been confirmed who the person was that was addressing the talent. If we had to guess, we'd have a good idea who was on the PA flexing his vocal cords. You better start cheering or you're fired. Yeah, guess who that was. But there you have it guys, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.